Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video to show you how to change the rear camera in the iPhone 6 Plus. So the easiest way that I've found to open this phone up is to get a suction pry tool like this. It's just a little pry tool and it works so much better than using the other ones and just using suction cups on the front like these ones here. You can use these kind of like this, but I found it so much easier to use an actual tool like this. So the other thing we're going to be using is a little screwdriver, a Torx size 0, and also we're going to be using a Phillips screwdriver size 000. And I wanted to show you these, and I'll include links in the video description where you can find these tools if you're interested to work on this phone and to do this repair, and any parts that I'll be using during this repair I'll include links in the video description for those as well, to be sure to check them out. So first, what you're going to want to do is power down your phone, make sure it's turned off, and then at the bottom right here there's 2 screws, and they're for the Torx that I was talking about, the size 0, and you're going to want to remove these 2 screws right here. So next, what you're going to want to do is take this pry tool and attach it as close to the home button as possible. If you have broken glass on here, what you can do is just put a piece of tape over it, and that'll take care of that, and then that'll have something to adhere to. And then so what you're going to want to do is just pry up a little bit. As you can see, I got it started already. And then what I would recommend is, mine was a little bit stubborn, so if you go right in here and just carefully, I had a little plastic pry tool and just carefully pried up here a little bit, then it started coming right apart. So next, what we're going to want to do is remove this suction cup tool. It's really easy to remove. Then we're going to want to pry up. I'll show you down in here. The next thing we're going to want to do, if you can see okay, is remove these 5 screws right here off this plate, and you're going to need the little Phillips screwdriver and just make sure to keep them in the same order so you know which order they came off. So next, now that this connector is loose here, this plate, you can just grab it. I'm just going to use tweezers so you can see what I'm doing easily enough. And you just want to set that aside, and then I would recommend having a plastic pry tool so it for sure doesn't short anything out. And get under this connector right here, pry this connector up, and then go ahead and pry this other connector up right there. And then if you lift these up, there's a 3rd connector right there. Underneath that, there's a 4th connector. So once you get all 4 of those connectors loose, as you can see there, then the whole screen comes apart, just like that. To change the rear camera, what we will need to do is remove these 3 screws right here. Next, after you've removed those screws, then go ahead and remove this shield right here. There's a shield on top of the camera. Just set that off to the side. And then I would recommend using a plastic pry tool to remove the connector right here. Just pry up on this connector right here. You can use your fingernail if you have to. And then go ahead and just carefully pry up. It's a little bit snug on the rear camera, and it comes out just like that. To reinstall, grab your new camera, just set it right down in the hole, and it fits nice and snug. Go ahead and reconnect the connector. You'll be able just to pop it in with your fingers. You should be able to hear it click in. Just make sure everything's pressed down nice and firmly. Then grab the shield, set it down there. Make sure that this part goes in behind like it's supposed to. Then just go ahead and put your 3 screws back in. So to reinstall the screen, just grab the screen and just use your fingers or whatever you want to use. I'm going to use my fingers, hopefully you can see okay. And just start with the big connector and just kind of work your way down. The big connector, of course, goes first all the way towards the front, the top, and then the next one goes next in line, and then just do them kind of in order as they come down. And then this connector goes over there, and then this connector goes on the bottom. And you can feel once they all pop in securely. Then you grab your shield and set it right down on there, and go ahead and put your 5 screws back in. If it's a lot easier to put these screws back in, you can turn this screen carefully like this and start doing these outside ones, and then without turning it too far to get to the last ones, then you can, once that plate is pretty much where it won't move, then you can put the last ones in like that. So then next what you will want to do is just grab your screen, and there's little notches at the top here. Get those started in first. Then you can just start pressing your screen in till it's down all the way. And then lastly, put your 2 screws back in the bottom down here with the Torx screwdriver. And you're all set. Thanks for watching.